Hi everyone. Well, here it is, all dry from the last pour. And I've got some funny stuff going along the edge here, and I can't figure it out, but every place, you can see this, every place I have a staple, and these are new staples, I get this strange look. I've never had this before in any of my pourings. So I can only assume that it's the staples. I've never had this, and I staple all the time. So strange, but I'll deal with it. Anyway, so it's all dry. I'm ready for my next layer. And before I go on to that, I want to show you, I've let my colors sit without lids on them. And all I have to do is stir them up and add a little bit more water. But if I was to put the lids on them and let them sit for more than a couple of days, the paints can go bad. And I've had that happen on a red that I used, where it constantly granulated, and I don't know why it was doing that. I can only assume that the paint had gone bad, and I was doing it for a watercolor demo. So I was using the same paints over a period of about a week and a half, where I was preparing the paints for this demo. And so I wanted to use the same paints. I didn't want to adjust anything because I was doing like 7 different paintings. It was a pouring for this entire demo that was only 50 minutes long. So I had lots of things that I had to do. I can only assume that the paint went bad, and it was only the red, and the red was the only one that I had kept the lid on. All the others I was using was for different backgrounds and everything. So the red was the only one that granulated, and no matter how much mixing I did, I mean, it wasn't like normal granulation, like it granulates and it's supposed to. This wasn't like that. This was more like little chunks of paint that would not dissolve. It was very strange. So if you're going to put the lids on, only leave them on for a day or two. Otherwise, you can let them sit like this. If they dry up, just put more water in it. It's just watercolor, and then you can reconstitute them. All right, I have got everything masked off again. I've got my colors already. They're all a little bit thicker. I added quite a bit more pigment to it. I'm going to do something a little differently than what I normally do because I want my stems to be more green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet the stems and then put color in the stems because I really want these to be much greener. Normally I would pour these, but I'm going to do this just a little bit different than what I normally do because I want all of this to be much greener. Before it dries too much, I'm just going to take and put in some color in there. Then I can mask these off and start doing more layers. Don't I just mix up a green and put a green on here? Because I like to see the variations in colors. So I've got some blue, I've got some yellow, and to me that's more pleasing than if I just mixed up some green and put in there, which would be kind of flat, kind of boring. I'd rather just have different colors in it. So anyway, so you see what I'm doing. I'm going to turn this off, quickly do the rest of these, and then I'll be back. All right, I have all of the stems done and the leaves done. They're all masked out. So what I'm going to do next is do another pour, another layer. And at the very end, what I'll probably do is remove all of the other masking. This is tentative thinking here. Remove all of the other masking except for the, now let me say that again. I will remove the stem masking and the leaves masking and then pour green, yellow and blue over that and see how that works. That could change. I could decide not to do it that way, but that's kind of my plan for right now. So I'm going to start with yellow. Yellow is the hardest to maintain in a color. So I pour that first. Oh, don't have my gloves on here. And then the red. Then I'm going to pour that off. And then pour some blue down in here. And some red. And some blue over here. See how drastically different this is going to be. And some yellow. Then I'm going to pour it all down this way. It's a good thing I've got granite countertops and this paint doesn't stain. Look how pretty that looks, just like that. It's awesome. I'm going to pour some blue up in this area too. Some more red. See, I'm just taking some of that on my glove and putting it on there. I want this painting to be quite vibrant. A little bit more color than the last one. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. I love all of the different colors that I've got in here. Bring this up close so you can see. See all those colors in there? I really like that. Alrighty. Same process. Let it dry. And I'll be back.